Yeah.
If you want to learn about photography, videography, no.
Hey.
No,
I
there's
mean,
no.
if that's your profession.
No.
What we usually do is we just talk for a little bit, but you're a very interesting person, so we're just gonna have you come on the introduction of the podcast. But welcome and thank you so much for coming back to your favorite podcast. This is your favorite podcast. This is the Maximum Filipino Show. Tonight is a very special night. I know I say this all the time. Every time we do podcasts with guests, we say it all the time. But tonight it is
different.
It is very special because we've known this guy for a very long time. I don't even know for how long. We've known him for a very long time. We personally know him.
Yeah.
And he knows a lot of our what do you say this? How do you say it?
He knows us from the inside out.
I hope not.
I hope.
I hope he knows us clothed while we're clothed, you know what I mean? Not naked. But he knows a lot of our what is that phrase? Skeleton in your closet? Is that
The skeleton in your closet.
Yeah. All I can think of is Eminem's song. But
just a few of them.
yeah, just
But not all of their skeletons, I know.
That's right. That's right. But we have Kuya Randy Benigno. How's it going, Kuya?
I'm doing good, and thank God. Things are, how do you call it? Here in the Philippines are turning, a bit better than before.
Oh, really?
Nice.
The restrictions are getting not that restricted right now.
Yeah.
So we have a little bit of freedom to go around, and since I'm in the events industry, some of the events are coming in here in here in Baguio, actually, where I stay. So
Yeah.
so a bit of weddings and other
Right, I know.
events come in.
Yeah.
So,
That's awesome.
With that said, this is the reason why we do our content, our podcast, because we want to showcase Filipino talents all over the world. We're everywhere, we're everywhere. But I feel like we don't talk about us that much. It's funny because, and I think it's mainly people suck at geography. But when you ask them where's the Philippines, they're like, oh, it's over here. No, that's Europe. We're not there. like they have no idea where the Philippines is, which makes sense because you can even ask them like where's the Pacific Ocean. They have no idea. But that's just people. So this is what we're doing, and this is why we're doing this. We want to showcase Filipino talents, and we believe that you're one of the most talented person in the world. Like
Very.
that's not
No.
that's not even
It's
it's not
that's
even
not
a
a
joke.
lie.
Oh my gosh!
Man,
Every
you
time.
helped us a lot in so many ways.
Right.
When we're in BBC with
Yeah.
with technical stuff, shooting, camera, all that. Bro, you are talented.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, up to us in BBC.
Dude,
you
every
are
time I
idol.
open my Facebook Facebook app and I see one of his posts, I drool. Like, holy smokes, I wish I can shoot like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I like everything that you do, man. If you shoot, I like. Awesome. Kuya Randy. I like.
Yeah, I
Just do it.
started started using cameras since cameras were still, cell phones with 1 megapixel resolution, and then
Wow.
well, I really had the desire to take photos since I was in my elementary years. That was way back when digital photography was not existing yet, and they were still using the thing that you called film. I don't know if you know that, wherein you take pictures and then you put it on
That's right.
where they develop
That's
your
right.
your pictures and then print it. So it goes it has a long process, and it was very expensive during that time. You have to buy film, and then after that you have to buy a good camera, good lens, and then after that you have, after processing it, you have to put it in a developing center where they will develop your your
Oh my gosh,
pictures, and
right?
then it would turn out to be a negative, and then I don't know if you guys know about it, but
I know a
you
little
Google
bit
it
of it.
I
up.
do. Oh my gosh! For
Yeah.
all our viewers, I don't even know. So I have no idea what's our demographic, but if you are, I almost said less than, but if you are younger than 21-year old, you probably have no idea what we're talking about. Like, I don't even know if you heard the company called Kodak. You probably haven't.
Yeah.
You like. That's probably like,
Man,
what is that?
those are some
Because I
old
remember when I was a
terms.
kid. Yeah, you're right. I remember when I was a kid, my mom will take a bunch of pictures and go to a Kodak center, and wait for literally a week to get the pictures.
That sounds about right. Yeah. The disposable cameras, right?
Yeah.
I
Wait for
remember.
a week to print out the pictures.
Yeah,
It
I
was
forgot those
crazy like
exist.
that. Oh, yeah.
I mean, are those still relevant today, or do they still exist?
Yeah, there's this people, a group of people, a culture. They call themselves hipsters. Still use those.
They're from California.
Still use
Okay.
film cameras. Actually, I have a film camera with me. I just bought it probably 2 months ago, and because I was trying to go back to the roots of photography. Actually, it's not. But I did it. I wanted to explore where photography came in from the analog side. So
I mean, they
I
still
bought
have.
one.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and bought one because it was kind of cheap. They were selling it online, and it was kind of cheap. But the film, I don't know how to explain it, man. Kids these days right now are so hard to
Right. I know.
to
It's like,
explain what these things are.
you just put it in the camera, right? And that's when
Yeah,
you see the.
there's a small canister
Yes, that's right.
wherein you put it inside the camera, and,
And then-
that's where the data, the so-called data,
Yes.
photos,
Right.
will be printed in. So, and then afterwards, if there's only 36 shots, imagine 36 shots that you could shoot in that camera. And then after
man,
that, you
that's
have to
right.
replace that canister. And when it's all filled up, you put it
replace
on
it.
a printing center, something
Yeah.
somewhere out
Yeah.
there.
That's right.
And then
Then they'll
go
print it for
after a
you.
week and see your picture suck.
Yeah, you can edit it.
You can-
Like, there's no way you can edit
can
those pictures.
edit it.
It's the final deal. Yeah, I
You know,
remember those, man.
There was a saying that pictures don't lie during that time.
Right.
Yeah,
Yes.
They
pictures
didn't.
don't lie because you can edit it.
Yeah.
Once it comes out from the developing center,
Yeah.
That was it.
That's it.
that's it.
Yeah, you're right.
But
I remember.
now, man, you can lie all you want. You can be
Yes.
a rock star or
Yes.
a movie star if you want to.
Oh
Dude,
man, that's
seriously
right.
though,
You can
seriously.
edit, Photoshop, do all the
Yo,
things that you want to do.
remember back in the day when when I say back in the day, I feel like we're really, really old. We're not that old.
Now,
Like,
how
all
much more
three
for
of
him
us.
if you say that?
No, between the three of us, we're not that old. I'm saying we're still young. I say this all the time. If you can double your age, right, and you're still alive in that double age, you're still young. It's like if you're 40 and you double it to 80, and you know you will still be alive when you're 80, you're still young. You know what I mean?
Do you believe that, Kuya Randy?
If you're 60 and you double that to 120, you should be dead. Like, there's no reason for you to be alive when you're 120.
Okay.
When I was in my 30s, this guy is not on his 30s. When I was in my 30s,
Yeah.
I felt like I was in my 23s or something
Yeah.
like that.
To
Well, you
me,
look
But I
you
was
looked 18.
my age. You know, my age. When I was in Bethel Bible College, when we were in Bethel Bible College, I felt that I was at your age.
Yeah. Right?
Yeah,
Right?
that's why we could
Seriously.
relate. You know, I could relate to you. But probably some of my classmates, some of our batch, some of the people inside Bethel Bible College would disagree. Probably this guy is old.
No,
Just looks young.
dude, you look
Yeah,
really
you still
young.
haven't aged yet, man.
But at the same time, there's still it's not just because, because in Asian countries we have the culture that if someone's older than you, doesn't matter how old they are, you have to respect them. But you can relate to us who are 15, 16 years old at that time. You can relate with us, but we still have respect on you,
of course.
Based on what
That's
the
right.
knowledge is that you tell us.
Because
and-
you know my age.
Yeah.
Probably if
Right.
you don't know my age, if you
no,
we
absolutely
just hung
not.
out with you. That's
No,
for real.
absolutely. Like we still respect you. We still say stuff to you because we know you'll like get along with the ride. But anyway, so what I was saying was, I remember back in the day when we take those pictures and they have built-in flashes. So when you print out the pictures, your eyes are all like there's white spot in the middle because of the flash. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Pictures.
It's
man,
either
I forgot.
white or red.
Yes,
White or
that's
red.
right.
Or orange, something like that. It's like when you put on a flashlight during the evening on a
Yes.
cat, something like that.
Yes,
that's right.
The eyes of the cat were something like
Man.
your eyes.
Yeah,
the
I know.
I forgot those things were old school. Like, because I think about cassette, I think about VHS, I think about those being old. But I forgot they had those the film canisters. Oh man,
Yeah.
that's old.
Yeah, the floppy
Yeah,
disk.
those
Remember,
are old.
remember
My
floppy
mom
disk?
would get mad at me for touching the film because that will ruin.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Because they're expensive,
Once-
like you said.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're a bit expensive. Because once the thing is, if you did not because on a camera, a good camera, when you don't rewind it and then you open the camera having not rewind it, it would expose the film and all of your pictures would be ruined.
Oh, that
because-
makes sense.
Yeah.
They can't be exposed in the
So-
light. Is that what you're saying?
Because that's why they have this dark room when they develop the film, because they don't want any light coming in to expose your film. That's why they need a dark room during that time.
Yeah. No, speaking of which, I told someone about a red room, and they thought it was like a 50 Shades of Grey kind of thing. And I said, no, red room is where they when they do the
developing
pictures
of
and developing the pictures, because it is red. Is there any reason why it's red?
I think red is not that visual. With our eyes, we could still see some hint of of things, and it won't expose the film that much.
Okay.
Gotcha.
So,
Because you want it as dark as possible, but at the same time you want to be able to see
At
it.
the same time, you could still see it.
Gotcha. Oh, wow. Oof. Learn new things. But anyway, so I don't know if I mentioned this to you, Kuya Randy, but I was you are my first inspiration when it comes to videos and editing. Because when we first went to Bethel and I saw you were one of the first people that I met, and you were editing in one of your old laptop. I remember this. I vividly remember this because I can never forget my first interaction with you. This is what I did. Okay, that's what I did. He was in the dorm. It's in the old dorm.
Right.
And I saw him editing. I didn't know him. I didn't know his name or anything like that. So I was just watch him. I said, "What are you doing?" He said, "He's editing." I said, "Oh, okay." I didn't even know his name. Like I just start talking to him, and I'm so fascinated with computers. So he left. He went somewhere. But I don't know what dawned on me. I used his laptop, and then he came back, saw me using his laptop, and he said, "Bro, is it okay if you don't use my laptop?" I said, "Oh yeah, I'm sorry." Like that is my very first interaction. Do you remember that?
I don't remember
Yeah,
that.
that was my very first interaction with you that I used your laptop without asking
Was
you.
I that rude? Was I
No,
rude
no.
when I-
No, I think you were taken aback, like you were caught off guard. It's like, why is this random person using my computer? Like, why? And you were really nice. You were like, please do not touch my stuff. I said, "Oh, okay, I'm sorry." I mean, granted, I was 15 years old. I have no idea. You know what I mean? It's like,
Oh yeah,
man.
we were so young.
yeah,
that
I know.
time.
I was me and Kellen. We were the youngest in that.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
You guys
that
were the
time.
youngest.
But when I saw you doing your pictures and videos and editing, I was like, man, I want to do that. I want to learn all of that, and you were my inspiration because I saw everything that you did in Bethel. I'm like, I want to be that guy. You know what I
Your
mean?
stuff were A class, man. Loved
Right.
it.
Right. So when it comes to your pictures, what are your how do you plan it? So because I notice you do a lot of no, it's like
Landscape.
landscapes. Yeah. How do you plan all that?
Oh, actually, when I started in photography, when I started having a really nice camera, I wanted to take pictures.
Mm-hmm.
So the thing during that time, I didn't know what really I wanted to. Just wanted to take pictures. So I took pictures of everything, from the smallest things to the biggest things. So and then when I graduated from what do you call this, from Bethel Bible College, I went back here in Baguio City where my hometown is, and I got involved. I got involved within a community of portrait photographers. Portrait photographers are those people who just take pictures of people, and sure enough, I got involved with it because there a lot of the circle of my friends were doing it, so I did it also, and they got involved in events where during that time when I was still starting, I wasn't really paid that good.
Yeah.
It's like I do it for free. So even now I do it for free actually for
Wow.
my friends.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Sometimes, especially when they tell me that they are pastors or ministers.
Gotcha.
I I give them free service.
Yeah.
Sometimes they pay, but they pay only for if they wanted a print of their pictures, which is I don't want to
Right.
to use my own money to print the
Right.
pictures.
Yeah,
so
I
they
know.
have to pay
That's
for it.
expensive.
So,
Yeah, they ain't cheap.
yeah. And then
Oh,
during
okay.
the time, I got involved in that and got involved also with people with a lot of genres in photography, like food photography and all that. But one thing, when some of my friends got their own, got their own life, they matured, they got married and they have their other priorities, and photography is not one of them. So we had each other's paths. So I still want, because photography was a passion of mine. I got involved also with the community of people who are having taking pictures of landscapes. So then, yeah, sure, why not? So because in photography, once you have your own lens, your camera, and then the lens that you use for landscape photography is not is not as effective as when you use it for landscape. So you have to have certain equipment, excuse me, for landscape photography and portrait photography. So
Interesting.
yeah.
Oh,
So
wow.
if you're that's why you have a general lens, but sometimes when you want to capture things more interesting, pictures, you have to have the right equipment for that kind of photography. So
Wow.
for food photography, there's a kind of lens that you need to use for it, and
Yeah.
also for portrait, for landscape, for any kind of photography, there's a certain special lens for it.
Wow.
But I'm not saying that the lens that you use for portrait cannot be used for landscape.
Yeah.
It could be used for landscape, but you can't use it every time to capture the things that you have envisioned, that you
Gotcha.
could see,
Gotcha. Yeah.
because
Interesting.
on like for example, on portrait photography, you can't use a wide angle lens. You know why?
Yeah. Why?
Why? Because there's this thing that they call distortion. it distorts the face
Oh,
of
okay.
your
Yeah.
other people you're taking photographs of. They make them
Okay, that
fat.
makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
They
Yep.
make them fat.
Yep.
They make them larger
Yep.
than it seems.
Yeah.
That's why they need portrait photographers need to have zoom lenses. I mean, long focal length
Yep.
zoom lenses to make the face of their subjects a little slimmer.
Yeah. Yeah. No,
That's why sometimes you could see portrait photographers. Why do they have long lenses?
right.
Yeah.
Just to take,
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yo,
That's the reason.
because I learned that. So I'm doing wedding videos now. I'm doing wedding videography, and I learned that 24 millimeters is not good for brides because they make him look fatter. You know, when you get closer to their faces, you don't want to use 24. So I go around 50 to 70, and then of course during ceremony you don't want to be right in front of the whole crowd. You know what I mean? So you go, I don't know, like like 200 millimeters, I think. And you know, you can go farther and then still get that tight capture. But I learned that in the hard way. I learned the 24, I put it in a gimbal and then followed the bride with it on her face. I'm like, man, that thing is like a fat face because of that, the distortion that he was talking about.
Yeah, he was teaching me
Yeah.
the other day. I didn't think that filming or photography or videography was very intricate, very specific, and
Oh,
Yeah.
it's
very
an art form.
detailed.
Yeah.
Actually, you could use 24 millimeter for portraits, but the thing is, you don't use it really close to your
Yep.
subject.
Yep.
In this
Yep.
close,
Yep. Yeah.
it would make them larger.
Yeah.
That's why you
Yeah.
use them really on
Yeah.
where it's
Right.
you could take the whole body of it.
Right. That's what
And
I'm doing.
as much as possible, they're at the center
Yes.
because if you put them on the side, they get large.
Oh.
Yeah.
In
So,
which brides don't like it.
yeah. So you don't do rule of thirds in a 24.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Probably you could do it if, for instance, you're using it for a wide. You have most of the background rather than the subject.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I sometimes use it for 24. I put it on the gimbal while let's say the bride and groom while they're walking. I make sure I capture all of them while they're walking, and I slow mo that. And it looks fine because you have the background, especially if we're in a golf course. So the whole place is just clean with trees and all that. I have them while they're walking. I follow them with the gimbal. It looks nice, but when you, like what he said, when you get them right close to their faces, that thing expands. You know, their face just expands.
So they were in line that they add 5 pounds on your face.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably. 5 pounds to 10 pounds.
Yeah.
You could add to your face.
Yeah, depending how close you are.
So everyone that's viewing this, you see this face, it's not.
It's because of the camera. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
because of the camera.
it's the camera, man.
Right now we're
Don't blame it on him. It's the camera. It's
Right
the
now-
lens that you're using.
right now we're in 5 millimeter. I'm just kidding. I don't even know if there's a 5
Well,
millimeter.
that could be an excuse, but if you have a really thin person beside you, man, this guy is lying.
Our lens is broken.
So
Half of it
be
is-
sure when you say that, it's just you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, anyway, when I got involved with these guys who were doing landscape photography, and the thing with landscape photography is you have to wake as early as 3 a.m.
Dang.
Well,
Wait, for
yeah,
landscaping?
just to catch a good light. So, we usually 3 a.m., 4 a.m., something like that, and then we travel. We go to places where spots where the sunrise would be good.
Okay.
So yeah.
Oh, okay, that
we
makes
do
sense.
Yeah, so now I have to buy new gears for my
wow.
because I got used to portrait photography during that time. So new gears for landscape
To
photography.
wake up
right?
early in the
Yeah.
morning, that's committed, man. That's a lot earlier than our morning
Yeah.
devotion.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah. So early, man. So early.
Yeah. Remember
And
what I told you?
then-
It's art over comfort.
Yeah, you did tell me that.
Art
Actually, yeah, that's why during that time I didn't realize that landscape photography was that hard and a bit expensive because you have to first thing of course, you could have your own camera. But the traveling time and the petrol that you use for traveling,
Right.
And the hiking.
also the food,
Oh,
and
man.
everything, and the
Yeah.
gear,
Yeah.
and it's a bit, and then when you come home, expecting that your photos were good, put it on your computer, and most of your pictures are suck because some of them are out of focus, and then bad
Overexposed.
composition.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
That's
that-
why it took me how many years to to have really good pictures. At first, I thought I had really good pictures. Looking back at them right now, oh man, I suck.
Do you so I just learned this last weekend about photographers because I don't know in videography because I don't think we do it. But do you stack pictures when you edit?
Yeah, sometimes right now. Well, that's a bit advanced actually. That's
Yeah.
a bit advanced. But as what I realized when I was still starting, if you do that, if you learn that first, you won't the progress of improving is very slow. Why?
Oh.
Because you don't you depend on the because that's considered photo manipulation already.
Gotcha.
What do you mean by stacking?
That's why the first thing that you have to learn is how to compose. How to compose. Like, okay, composition is like this. It's like cooking. Waka, do you cook?
Yes, but he does more of the cooking.
Okay.
You cook rice.
Like for example, you cook. You have all these ingredients.
Right.
You have the best pot and the best stove. Probably your stove is about $3,000 and your pot is $4,000 and you have the
Oh,
best
man.
ingredients. But yet you mix all the ingredients and then you eat it. After knowing that everything is expensive, when you eat all the things that you cook, it doesn't taste that good.
Yeah. Yeah.
And when you go to a friend's house and he has all these cheap pots and
Right.
stove, but when he cooks, man, it's the best.
Yeah.
Why?
Okay.
Because composition is like that.
I see,
You
that
have
makes sense.
every equipment, but if you don't know how to mix the ingredients well and have a good, the right
Right.
temperature for your fire, well, it takes experience to do that. So that's why you have to learn the basics first. Composition first is knowing how to use your camera, and then next is composition.
Yeah.
That's which is I'm still learning right now.
Yeah.
So it's finding, like for example, we had I was trying to explain composition like this. This one is a composition, like the way you see me right now.
Right.
Yeah.
No, okay. This is a composition.
Yeah.
Okay? This is a composition. Now, the way you put your camera in a way where you put the elements, like for example, the lights behind me,
Right.
Yeah.
the way you move your camera and put in the elements inside that frame is a composition. You knowing to put or remove out of the frame.
Yeah.
That makes
Because
sense.
that's the thing I was trying to learn when I first in my photography. Okay, I have my camera. It's really nice. It's really
Yeah.
expensive. You saw my camera during the time, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
That was
yeah.
really expensive.
Yeah.
And then my problem is whenever I put my camera on my eye, what should I take?
Yeah.
Yeah, this person, but
Yeah. Yeah.
okay, how do I frame him?
Yeah. That's right.
Okay.
That's right.
And then
Wow.
composition is involves not only the elements around the person around your subject, but also the light. Where is the light
Yeah.
coming from?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
is the light coming from here? Is the light coming from here? Above?
Yeah.
So
And I thought everything that he's been doing is complicated. You just explaining a whole different level of photography to me.
It's a lot.
okay,
That includes
I
video
That's
too.
a lot.
Yeah.
I would like to make a a demonstration. Okay. Excuse me for a minute. I'll
right.
just get a light.
Okay.
Okay.
This is awesome.
Yeah, I know.
Oh,
It is.
man.
It's not just photography, because this is practically the same thing as video. Because like what he's talking about, the composition and the lights, they're the same.
Yeah.
You need them. You know what I mean?
Oh, what? Oh,
Oh yeah.
Yeah. There you go.
That changed a lot.
Yeah, that's dramatic. That is dramatic. That feels
Okay.
like-
As you see,
Yeah.
the direction of the light begins to make your subject a different look.
Yes.
For example, I'm here. How do I look? Right? I look scary, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How about this one?
Yeah.
You look like a.
I really look tough, something like that.
Yeah.
Yes.
See?
Yeah.
So you have to learn this stuff. Light
Man.
shapes your subject.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and it invokes something it invokes an emotion,
Right. It does.
So
Yeah.
there's these things that you have to learn. Okay, so
That's a lot.
and
Yeah, I know.
it took time. It took time for me.
Right.
Yeah. Speaking of time,
Actually,
how long did it take you to be as good as you are now? I know you've been doing it for years, even since we were there, and
Yeah.
as you mentioned before. But to really be serious in this career, or if you call it a career, how long did it take you to be as good as you are now? Like,
it took me years because this is not my main line. I mean, this is not really my job. Right now, it's my job. During that time, during the past 20 years doing professional photography, it was not really a job for me. It was just the sideline. I have my own job. I have my job before, but now, I think it took me since 2010. Now is 2021. 11 years.
11 years.
Oh no,
yeah.
no. How many years?
11 years.
it's 11 years. You're
11
right.
years already. Yeah.
Oh,
But
wow.
if I was doing it really
Serious.
like every day, I do it every day, probably I'd be better right now.
Oh, so
But if you really
Go ahead.
But if you really, you really like this stuff, you really like what you're doing,
Yeah.
do it every day. Do
Yeah.
it. I mean, what my advice to those guys who want to improve in photography or videography, do
Yeah.
it every day.
Yeah.
As in, do it every day. As in, like you're taking a picture even if it doesn't make sense anymore. Taking pictures, just take pictures.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
take pictures. Like if you're doing video, do shorts. What I mean in shorts is make short stories. Like make a story out of your sock,
Yeah.
out of your shoes,
Yeah.
out of your mom, your dad. Make short stories out of them.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
until everything that around you is you made stories out of them already.
Yeah. Yeah.
Then if you don't have any more to make stories in your house, go outside your house.
Yeah. Right.
You know?
Just don't.
Okay.
Just don't go. Just don't go.
I
in
mean that's passion.
just
That's
don't go in
passion.
the playground or preschool.
Yeah, let's
Schools
just make
with
it
your camera.
weird.
Oh,
That
that's
make-
dangerous, man.
just don't do that. Don't worry, I'm just practicing.
Just like,
I mean, here in the Philippines, you could do that.
Yeah, I know, but not here.
I just don't know in your side.
No, you can't. You can't do here. It's like, hey, come here, little girl. Let me take a picture of you. No, nope. You're gonna get called
Yeah.
out.
yeah, but yeah, you did tackle it. Like you said the word passion. I mean, this guy has passion for videography so far. What he's doing, I'm still looking for what mine is.
Yeah, but so when you said practice and keep practicing and keep doing what you're doing, do you remember one of the first times you took pictures, and what'd you feel like? Because here's my thing, and I don't want to say I overcame it. I'm still trying to overcome it. Is the shyness of I don't want to take a video because I know it's gonna be crappy, or I don't want to take pictures because I know it's gonna be terrible. But do you remember you're one of the first times you took pictures or videos, and how did you feel like, and how did you overcome that whatever struggle or shyness or talking down to yourself? Yeah. How did you do
It's
it?
like, I know how that feels. Because when you're behind the camera and then you're doing that, and there's people look at you and then what you do? It's like,
Right. Yeah.
what is this guy doing?
Right.
What, taking pictures of me, he's taking video of me. What is this guy doing? Especially, I think, especially in the States, where people are really a bit sensitive. Here in the Philippines, it's like when they see a camera and they would just smile, and they do this.
Right.
Trying to get involved with it.
And it would really welcome you, but still, on the side of the photographer, videographer, they become a bit shy. But I think what you need, if you first thing is you have to make a mindset.
Right.
I'm not here to please anybody else. I'm here to learn.
Yeah.
I'm here to explore the possibilities of making a story. Because even, you know what? Here's the thing. It's not about the equipment that you have. It's not about the people around you. It's not about the skill that you have. It's about a story that you will be making. No matter how beautiful your lighting is, no matter how great your composition is, if there's no story in that, why do I want to see your video or see your photos?
Makes sense.
Yeah. That's the most important thing. I'm going to make a story out of these things, out of these people.
Yeah.
If you could make that, if you're a good storyteller, man, you could go a long way. Because it's look at movies. You look at
I get movies. Yeah.
What are the movies that you like? Even the classics. The old stories. Yeah, they don't have the best. What do you mean? CGI.
Yeah.
Right now.
Yeah.
They don't have the best probably sound during that time. But why do you like those why do you like those movies? Because of the story.
That makes sense.
When you look at right now, what's the most popular movies right now? It's not American movies. Excuse me, my American friends. What are the people watching right now?
That makes sense.
Korean movies,
right?
Actually.
Yes, Squid Game is like a big hit.
Yeah.
Right?
It's a big hit, man.
Right?
Why?
Yeah.
Did they have they are look at it. Look at the movie, right? Squid Game, for example. It's the story. Because the movies right now, in the Hollywood movies right now, it's just like, what's going on already.
Yeah.
You know what's going to happen. Like, for example, Marvel. I love Marvel movies, like Spider-Man and all that. You know what to expect. Somebody would be saved. Somebody there's a villain in the
Yeah.
Expect those movies right now. But from Hollywood movies. But look at Korean movies. What makes them hit? It's the storytelling.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, K-dramas really.
It's the storytelling.
That makes sense.
I just hate it. What I only hate with Korean movies is, my eyes are failing me right now a bit because a bit. I hate reading the subtitles.
The subtitles.
I really hate it.
Yeah.
I really hate that. But probably it's just like I need to force myself to learn Korean.
Right? And you don't feel the same intensity with if you do it in dub. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's why we do subtitles in animes. It's like you don't feel the same intensity.
Yeah.
It's like you have to feel the same emotion with their own voices instead of a dub. You know what I mean?
I agree.
But look at it right now. Even if there's a language barrier between this Korean movies, but still it pushes it entices you to watch them because of the story they have.
I get it. Yeah.
Telling a story, which one is more difficult? Is it photography or videography?
Well, That's just the hit of it. That's
Yeah.
just a part of it, you know.
Yeah, that's
Um,
apples and oranges.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
just a part of it. Yeah,
Yeah.
but
Okay, fair.
the storytelling. I think even if you don't know technical know-how,
Mm-hmm.
if you are not that really an expert in your technical side in making films,
Mm-hmm.
but you have a story, I think
Mm-hmm.
the story is more important
Yeah.
than this.
Yeah.
But the thing is, the thing with stories is how will you project or show this story through visual film?
Yeah.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
how are you going to project it?
Mm-hmm.
How are you going to attack it? You know, so people would feel the storyteller's intent. You
Mm-hmm.
know, the way he knows the story. How will you make uh, that story be understood or be
Right.
how do you say it? You know, be you know how would your audience grasp the story that you want to tell
Yeah.
Right.
through film,
Yeah.
through your filmmaking.
That's
So that's a bit difficult. That's why there are directors,
Mm-hmm.
and that's why there are the directors is the one who is in charge of the story,
Right.
how the story will go. The writers, yeah, they write the story, but now when the director reads the story, he interprets it,
Right.
and the way he looks at it, there.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
why sometimes the writers and directors
Don't get along.
they fight
Yeah.
because that's not the way I want to
Yeah, right.
makes
right.
sense.
attack the story.
And,
Yeah.
and then you also have the actors who's doing their own thing, you know what I mean? Because sometimes it
Yeah,
doesn't
yeah.
get
Oh,
along
yeah.
with the writers and the directors.
The technical person naman
Uh-huh.
in doing the sets and the angles of the cameras is the director of photography, the DOP.
Mm.
So now those two persons are very important, the director and the DOP, the director of photography,
Gotcha.
which means yeah. So
Gotcha.
you would see
Wow.
that always, but those are the people really who makes the movies
Yeah.
really
So
good.
much work making all that, man.
Yeah, I'm telling you, because it's if you're talking about which one is harder to do to impress, or express the storytelling, photography or videography, it's apples and oranges. Because in photography, the struggle is you have to express that story through a picture or through an image. When it comes to videography, there's a lot of things to consider, especially sound. Like I learned this from Kuya Randy and from the YouTube Academy.
YouTube Academy.
You could have the worst video in the world, but if you have good audio, people will listen to that. You know what I mean? Like how many times do we listen to podcasts or video cast while we're doing something? You know what I mean? But if you see a video with a terrible audio, you won't watch it.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean? Especially nowadays, you don't do it unless you're back in the day during Charlie Chaplin. Then yeah, silent films. But now it's like if you have horrible audio with so much static or so much terrible noises, you won't watch that video. So it's expressing the storytelling through video is same intensity as expressing the storytelling in photography.
It's already
Yeah,
true.
Yeah.
there's an exception to that. Just like what you said, Charlie Chaplin and Mr. Bean.
Oh, Mr. Bean, that's right.
Yeah.
Mr. Bean, you look at Mr. Bean. It's just music. There are ambient sounds that but
Right.
Mr. Bean is not speaking most of the time.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
acting. He's trying to project the story,
Right.
through his actions, and that's really hard.
Yeah.
It's funny when you see it. It's like
Yeah.
it's so easy, but actually it's really hard.
Right.
Did you know that Mr. Bean is an engineer by profession?
Oh no,
Wait,
I didn't
really?
know that. Yeah, I didn't know.
Yeah,
That. Wow.
he is an engineer by profession, but
He became an actor.
But he's really genius. That guy is really genius. No, I don't see anybody right now who's doing the same stuff that he was doing.
Wow.
Do you?
No, I don't.
No.
I mean, we had the Three Stooges. I don't even know if they exist. I
No,
don't
they
even
made a
know if
movie out of him, but
like a remake.
Yeah, but for like a genre like Mr. Bean or Charlie Chaplin, I don't think anyone came after them.
No, and still there's none that I know of.
But if you have that kind of talent and sound is not, but yeah, sound is still there, but you know, it's
Right.
not the main thing.
No,
But
yeah.
but right now, both video and audio are really at, on the equal side.
Yep.
You
That makes
can't
sense.
compromise just one video only or audio only.
Right.
Both
Yeah.
should be on
Yeah.
the same quality.
Right. No, I get it. That's, and we've seen this in a lot of this is a shameful plug to all the churches that's doing they're trying their best, okay? I'm gonna give you that. You guys are trying your best to do your church Facebook live. But a lot of them are like, yo, you're recording through your phone vertically and you're recording the audio directly from the phone. Like when you
Okay.
watch
Yeah.
their lives, like, "Oh, I can't hear anything." You know what I mean? And then
Yeah,
the best part is like they start recording it vertically and then they
Then
put it
just did
horizontally.
It's like, no, that doesn't work that way, guys.
So now your head is like this. What am I watching?
It's really hard,
Yeah.
you know. I don't know, but what it's a good start actually. It's a good start.
Yeah.
It's a good start for them. But they have with a lot of churches doing streaming right now, especially the big churches wherein they have all this
Yeah.
good equipment,
Right.
you know, and then they stream, and then you have you have your own church, and they stream also with, you know, with just what they have, and when you see them online, it's like, oh man, it's like why would I want to listen to them, or why would I want to attend to this
That's
to the
yeah.
church?
no
I'm not
lie,
saying
man. That's
that's
true.
the thing, but there's a competition right now online wherein, you know, the churches with big churches, they have this best equipment. I would rather go and not torture my eyes or my ears, go to see their live stream and look at their live stream and
Yeah.
listen to them. Then you
Yeah.
know, I'm not saying, of course, sometimes people just go to but to be honest to themselves, to be honest, you know, it's a pain to listen and also to watch them, because man, you should, you're preaching the gospel, and you should project, or you should present the gospel at the best way as possible.
Yeah,
you know?
I agree.
The best way as possible.
I agree.
If you could buy good sound system, good building, you know, if you could finance your online streaming also, so
Yeah.
that, you know, you could present the gospel the best possible way, so that people would just, you know, understand you, so that people would just, you know, see you, what you are trying to say, and you know, probably you could, you know, you just don't know.
Right.
The best thing with online services, online streaming, is you are reaching not locally, but you are reaching globally. But so if you want to be global, you have to have that kind of mindset that you need to project yourselves, your church, on a global point of view.
I agree.
Yeah, I mean, the streams are no lie. When I started minister with AJ at the church that we're
Who the heck
attending.
is AJ?
CB. Sorry, CB at the other church. And
That's my name in the group.
sorry.
See, okay.
See me.
So yeah, and you know, they hear the live, like they're there at the very at the service live, and it sounds great, but when you hear the stream,
Yeah.
it's a whole different mix. I'm like, whoa.
You know, I know. I say this. I told this to someone, and like what you said, online there's a competition, because before, right? Before, it's hard to compare other churches and other messages, because it takes time, effort, and money to travel from one church to another to listen to their messages. But now it only takes what? One button, you know, one press of a button is like, oh, I'm gonna go to this church and listen to their message if it's good, or their stream is good. I don't like that, so I'm gonna go to this church. Oh, their stream is better, but I'm gonna check this other church too. You know, the competition is a lot easier and a lot more compact compared to I'm gonna go to this church and check out their pastor, and then next Sunday I'm gonna go to this other church. You know what I mean? But yeah, it is a struggle. Let's talk about a little bit on the unless you have other things to say. Go ahead.
Yeah. No matter how beautiful the message that you're trying to say, if I can't listen to it, I could barely listen to it. What's the sense of it?
Agreed.
It's just barking at the tree, just like a dog barking on a tree.
Yeah,
literally.
Yeah, I agree. I told one of our friends, we know this guy. I told him that try, because you have an amazing camera, you have an amazing video, but you guys are recording the audio from the speakers. Find a way.
Man.
I know. I said, dude, a interface is really cheap. You know, it's cheaper than a lot of cameras. You can find one cheap interface, hook up your mixer in that interface and plug into your computer, and then that's it. That's the solution. Everything that you're getting out of that speaker will go directly in the camera. Invest on that, because all I could hear is reverb in your audio. Every one of them. You know, it's terrible.
Yeah, it could also hear what's going on around with the crowd. You know?
Yes.
If there's someone who's really near the microphone, near the speaker, you could hear him whispering or something.
Yeah, because their church is it's not even made of. It's not wood. It's like it's so the acoustic is terrible. The acoustic is just terrible. So all you can hear is just reverb and reverb and reverb. Like it's not. Yeah, invest on just one interface. Like interface is cheap. Just get a cheap one, and plug in your speaker in there. I want to talk about YouTube Academy, because I know I mentioned it earlier. You are my inspiration in YouTube Academy, because you told us this in the Philippines. If you want to learn anything, YouTube it. Because I asked you before. I said, hey, so I saw one of your pictures. I remember this so vividly, because I always remind myself of this. I saw one picture of, it's black and white, and then only the color red is visible, but the rest is black and white. And then I ask you, hey, how do you do that? He said, it's easy. No, but how do you do it? It's easy. No, tell me, how do you do it? You said, just go to YouTube and then Google it. Like, just Google it. And I took it as you not being lazy explaining to me how to do it, but I took it as, if you want to learn something, Google and YouTube it, because it's every information is out there.
Yeah.
And you told us that everything that you learn in photography and videography, you learn it in YouTube.
Yep.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah, most of them actually I learned. Of course, the thing is, with YouTubing, it's like, okay, now I know. Now I know how they did it. What's next? You know?
Right.
Do it.
Right.
Yeah, I know.
You do it. It doesn't stop there. It doesn't stop there.
Right.
Now, if you do it right now, think of something how you could make it yours.
Yeah.
Something that, okay, finally I did it. So what?
Yeah.
Everybody can do it right now. They just watch YouTube and man, that's how easy they can do it. But you have to know how to do it. If you know how to do it, now make it yours. How to make it like different way that nobody else could do it.
Yeah.
Probably they would, but they have to go through the way. But everybody doesn't think the way that you think.
Yeah.
So
Agreed.
you have to make a way. So first learning the rules, first learning the skill, and then second is making it your own.
Yeah.
How
That's
do you
good.
make it your own?
That's good.
Apply the knowledge that you've learned.
Yeah, because it is like what he said, it's preference. So I watch a lot of YouTube videos for wedding and stuff like that, and I learn that people has preference when it comes to, some people prefer warm videos, which is the orangey color, and then some people prefer cool videos, which is the bluish color. So it's about your preference. But you're right. It's like I watch all these videos. It's like they make it look so easy. But now once I hold my camera and I do the same specification that they told me to do in same angles, like no, it doesn't look same.
Look right.
Why does it?
It doesn't match.
Yeah. So I'm just brave enough when I do my videos in weddings. I'm gonna do my own thing. I'm gonna follow this and then just try it. If it sucks,
Right.
it sucks.
Right.
If it's good, it's good. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You learn by doing. Actually,
Yeah,
you
agreed.
learn by doing.
Right.
You don't stop doing stuff. Even like I said, even if it's silly, even if it doesn't work, then you know that the next time you're going to do it, if it doesn't work, then do it. Don't do it. Do another thing
Yeah.
that would work.
Yeah.
At least you know now that it doesn't work.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
See?
Yeah.
Agreed.
So experience is really a good
Good teacher.
good teacher.
Yeah.
So there are a lot of things that I did that probably if I would be telling myself, why am I doing this? But you have to go through that
Yeah.
to know that it sucks.
Right.
It doesn't work.
Yeah.
It does not appeal to everybody else. Probably during that time it appeals to you. You know why? It appeals to you, but it doesn't appeal to others.
Yeah.
You know why?
Why?
It for you it looks good, and to others it doesn't look good. You know why? Because you made an effort doing it. That's why for you it's good. It's
Yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah.
No? That's why when you do something else, like for example, me, what I do with my landscape photography is when I take my pictures, there's an emotional attachment to those pictures, right?
Yeah.
When I just freshly took it. That's
Right.
why I don't look at it or process it at first. I leave it there in my computer for a couple of days and then open it, so that the emotional attachment would just fade away.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now if I see it, I would criticize my own photos and say, does this work? It doesn't work. It looks crappy. Then,
Oh, that makes sense.
yeah, because like for example, when you're cooking, for you it's the best.
Yeah.
It's the best thing that you ever cook. But when your girlfriend or your wife tastes what you're cooking, and they say, yeah,
Yeah.
it's good.
It's good. I like it. It's my favorite. No, take another bite. I'm full.
Oh, that makes sense.
But it's not.
Yeah.
It's not.
Yeah. So YouTube Academy it's really important. Do it because that's what I did. That's what I've been doing right now.
Right.
Do you use for landscape photography? Because I'm not really fully aware of how to do it. You use a tripod, right? You have to.
Of course.
Yeah, you can't do it handheld.
That's as important as bringing your own batteries.
Yeah.
And your what do you call it, your SD card.
Right,
where you
right.
store your-
Yeah, you kind of have to, because with portrait or wedding pictures, you can get away with holding it, but
Yeah.
with landscape you have to tripod it.
Does the lens
because-
also have a tripod too?
The
What?
light,
Does the lens also have a tripod?
depending on your lens.
Depending how long
Yeah,
it is,
if
right?
you have the long ones, those are the ones that are mounted on the
Yeah.
tripod, not
yeah.
the body of the camera.
Yeah, some lenses are really, really big. Like if you watch the Discovery Channel, the ones that chases like animals while they're running, or cheetahs and things like that, their lenses are humongous. They put
Yeah.
the lens on a tripod, not the body, because the lens is so big.
The thing is with what do you call this? With long lenses, especially with those wildlife photographers,
Yeah,
where they use really long lenses.
yeah,
The thing is, why do they need that? Because of the motion blur. If you're the rule of the thumb is, okay, sorry Waka if you don't understand this.
It's all
The
good,
rule
it's
of
all
the thumb
good.
is, if you have a 50 millimeter, okay, 50 millimeter, your shutter speed should not go beyond lower than 1/50th of a second, the shutter speed. That's the rule of the
Interesting.
thumb. So if you have a 300 millimeter,
Yeah. Yeah.
your shutter speed should not go down beyond 1/300.
Gotcha. 1/300.
Because if
Oh,
goes
wow.
goes lower than 1/300 of a second, there will be motion blur on your photos.
Yep.
I'm
So,
only
yeah.
familiar
That's
with
why
the term.
you have to have
Yeah.
a camera tripod.
Gotcha.
Okay, I'm only
Yeah.
familiar with the term because not too long ago he just re-educated me the three big three, ISO, aperture, and then shutter speed.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I
That's
just
crazy.
told him
So-
that. But in videography, it's a different source. So I learned in videography, if depending on your frame rate, you double the frame rate. So if you're in 60, you double it in shutter speed, so you go 125.
120, yeah.
Yeah, because it's good for slow mo, to remove that jittery. Yeah. But
That's
I,
crazy.
Yeah, but I didn't know about what you said about the shutter speed, depending on what frames or millimeter
And that's
you are
for
in.
photography. That's for
Yeah,
photography.
gotcha,
Mm.
gotcha.
The motion blur. That's why there are photos when you're using they call this the long lenses.
Yeah.
When you're using long lenses, when because there are tendencies that a bit of movement,
Right.
the lens would detect it right away, especially
Yeah.
the long lenses. That's why it's really proper to have tripods or a monopod
Yeah,
for that.
Mm.
yeah. No,
Wow.
I get it. So which one would you prefer? Because I noticed that you take a lot of night pictures, or you like taking night pictures, and I don't know anybody around me that likes or prefer night pictures. But which one do you prefer, sunset or sunrise?
Because sunset and sunrise actually, because I don't have to wake up 3 o'clock a.m. Sunsets are, you go there and then
Yeah.
just wait for it.
Yeah.
But sometimes on my side
Mm-hmm.
of the country, sunrise has more beautiful spots than sunsets.
Oh.
So if I need to have a sunset photo, I need to go where there are, sea on the seaside.
Mm.
On the seaside, that's where the sunsets.
Yeah,
Got
it makes
it.
sense.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah.
You gotta
Yeah,
follow with the
so-
where the sun is going. Yeah.
Which kind of makes sense,
But
because
on my side, where I'm in the mountains,
yeah,
sunrises are more beautiful than sunsets.
yeah, it's
But there are
weird 'cause-
times that are sunsets that there are spots also that there are good sunsets, but there are just a few here.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's weird. Have you ever seen? It's not common to see pictures sunset in the mountains
No.
and sunrise at the sea. You know what I mean? Because it's always like sunrise by the mountains and sunset at the sea. Those are the typical
Right.
ones that you see. It's not other way around. Doesn't
Actually,
make sense.
it depends on your geographical area,
Mm-hmm.
where there are times that sunrises on, because if you're on the east side
Mm-hmm.
and the sea is there, sunrises go
Yeah. Yeah.
up there,
Yeah.
But most of the time here on my area,
Yeah.
the sea is on the west side. That's why that's where the sun sets.
Gotcha. Yeah, it's
Wow.
weird. And your pictures, and Waka's looking at them right now.
Yeah,
Um,
I'm re-looking at it again. Normally, I just look at it. I just support. I just like. But man,
Yeah, I
they're
know.
actually good.
No, because if you think about it, it's like the angles. You have to consider the angles. See that one picture that he's looking at right now, where the silhouette of the branches of the trees is taken, and then the sun is right in front of
Right.
the trees. You have to wait, because if it's cloudy, you have to wait for the sun to show up.
Right, right.
you have to work with nature in order for you to get a good picture,
yeah,
man.
Yeah, and you can't manipulate all that.
Did you edit any of these pictures, or are they not?
Of course.
Okay.
I won't say that. Oh, they're not edited. Of course they are edited. Most of them are the colors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Colors are enhanced, and
Nice.
there are elements around it sometimes that are that try to grab your attention. So I remove those things. Those are the stuff that I do when editing my photos. Because when it comes to composition, sometimes there are elements in your frame that you cannot avoid. So what you do is, okay, probably if it's just a small thing, then remove it through Photoshop.
Yeah.
And it's a digital photography is meant to be edited. Unlike film.
You shoot
Unlike
raw, right?
film.
You have to. You shoot raw.
Yeah, most of the time I shoot raw.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Especially with my landscape photography, because like you said a while ago, there's this stock focusing and exposure stacking also. I do that.
Yeah. I learned
Because
that from
of
our
excuse me for my for my technical terms, there's this dynamic range.
Oh yeah.
Your camera is limited to a point wherein the dark the graduation from the dark from the shadows to the highlights is not as gradual as our eyes. So
No, I get it, because one of our wedding pictures, they went in this room and it's really really dark. Even using a tripod flashes or lights, it's still really dark. So what he did, he took a very low exposure picture and then a very high exposed picture and then just mid, and he said he's planning to just stack it. I don't know what that means. I have no idea how to do it, but that's what he told me to do. That's what he told me he's gonna do. I was like, okay, that makes sense. All right, fine. It's like
but there are websites right now which is better than YouTube, which is better to educate yourself. Like for example, Skillshare. If you know Skillshare, yeah, you could just invest. You know how much Skillshare for a year right now is $100.
Oh wow.
Oh wow.
Yeah. But you could, there's a ton of educational materials there.
Yeah.
If you want to learn about photography, videography, no.
Hey.
No,
I mean, if that's your profession.
Whatever floats your boat.
What I mean is drawing, photo manipulation, even planting and cooking. There's Skillshare. I'm not promoting Skillshare. I'm not paid by Skillshare. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm a subscriber actually.
Yeah.
That's where also I learned some stuff. So if you have extra bucks to, they say that education is expensive, but try what do you call this? Being uneducated all your life.
Yeah, I know.
Crazy.
I know. And it's all about your patience. It's all about your diligence. How many videos have you watched? Like roughly in the ballpark, how many videos have you watched? Just learning all these.
If not just videos, how many hours of videos?
I don't know, man.
Yeah.
I'm so. How do you call this? I'm a very visual person. That's why I think since YouTube, I think existed. I'm watching so much on YouTube already.
Right.
But most of them really are educational stuff.
This is probably
if you
a
want
lot.
it for free, but you have to. This is my my warning when using YouTube as an educational tool. You have to be really picky on what what you're watching to educate yourself, probably because there's no censorship in YouTube, which is right or wrong educational stuff.
Yeah.
They censor only those pornographic stuff and those violent stuff, but when it comes to education, they're not that
It makes sense.
Yeah.
So you have to be picky on what you're trying to educate yourself. So
That's right.
Try to see if the video that you're watching has a lot of subscribers, and look at the comments also section.
Yeah.
If there are more negative stuff that they're saying against that educate, don't watch it. Go to another video.
Right. And don't be
That's
afraid.
the only thing I don't like about YouTube videos, sometimes yes they're free, but you have to pick the right
You have
stuff
to
that
find
you
it.
need to
Yeah.
watch.
Yeah, you have to find
That's
it
right.
yourself.
I agree.
And also don't be afraid of asking questions, you know, because that's what I do. Like, you know how many questions I've asked this guy? Like, hey, I have this lighting. What do you think about this light? Hey, what kind of camera can I get, and what kind of lenses should I start off? Because there's a ton
Yeah.
of information out there, and don't be afraid to ask questions. That's what I do all the time. So let me go in this one. So as a photographer, as a landscape photographer, do you have a bucket list?
Ooh.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, tell us what are
Of
your bucket
course,
list?
of course. There is stuff that I want to locations, actually,
Mhm.
geographical locations that I
Yeah.
want to photograph. One of them is the Iceland. I want to go to Iceland.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I just heard on the podcast with
Logan Paul.
Logan Paul and the Thor guy that
Yeah.
the big dude,
Yeah,
World's Strongest.
It's the Mountain, not the Thor.
His name is they call him nickname is Thor.
No, the Mountain.
They call him the Mountain.
Yes,
You're probably
He's
familiar because
from-
he
he's from Game of Thrones.
yeah,
Yeah, he's the Mountain.
but his name is called Thor.
I don't know. Yeah.
Anyway, he would brag.
I don't know what you guys talking about.
No, I was gonna. I thought you'd be familiar because you used to know more of weightlifting and stuff. He used to attend the world's strongest competitions and stuff. He was he have won several times, but he's an Icelander, and he would talk about Iceland like crazy, like no other.
Yeah.
He loves it, so it's one of my places I want to visit too.
Yeah.
Well, what else? What is other than
Yeah.
your bucket list? Iceland. What else?
Iceland, Norway, Netherlands.
Yeah.
Uh,
How about the Alpines? You know the
The
Alpines?
Alpines?
Yeah.
actually, there when you go to
Like I bet New
you go to
Zealand is
I-
beautiful.
Oh, New Zealand's.
yeah, they're good. They're good
Mhm.
actually.
Yeah.
They're good.
Or Canada.
But
Some-
Canada, Canada. But those are below my top priorities actually.
Oh, wow.
Interesting.
Iceland, and then I forgot the other
Well, you said Norway,
Other-
and
Yeah.
then
Norway, Netherlands, and the Australia, the country near Australia, what's that?
New Zealand.
New Zealand.
You thinking about Austria?
No, he's
that's
Australia.
right. That's right. New Zealand. That's right. New Zealand. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
That's good.
Probably if given the chance to go to Europe, probably, yeah. And also China. There are a lot of things in places in China
Oh,
that's
yeah.
not being photographed, but they're really nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
I believe
you know China.
Yeah.
China
The
is-
Forbidden Kingdoms still exist, right?
I don't know. I
Uh,
mean,
Yeah,
Yeah.
it does.
Forbidden Kingdoms still exist.
Yeah.
Some of the untouched areas in China, because they're so big and they have so many forests and mountains that
But it's due to sacrecy. Like they consider that like that
sacred.
nature.
Yeah.
Sacred.
It's like in Hawaii. There's some places in Hawaii you
places
can
in
go
Hawaii that you can't go.
or take pictures. Yeah. So yeah.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I want
Hawaii.
to go to Hawaii.
Hawaii.
Hawaii. See, he got it. He got
That's right.
it. Hawaii.
Yeah, it's not allowed unless you're not. It's not
A
even
local?
local.
Yeah.
No, it's because there's difference. Local and
And the
I almost said ancient.
ancient. Well, like the natives.
Yeah, the natives.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the natives out there in Hawaii, they're like very, very hardcore, protective of their traditions and their
Mhm.
culture, and having the locals or those who are just migrating
Tourists.
in or tourists, they
Yeah.
really don't like them.
Yeah.
They don't completely.
I understand why. You know why? Well, if you see my photos, I don't disclose most of the locations that
Oh.
we photograph. You
Yeah.
know why?
Why?
Because if they say, "Oh, this it's beautiful, it's nice," and then tourists start coming in,
Mm-hmm.
That's
and
true.
then they destroy the location.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that makes
I know.
sense.
I know. Yeah.
Yeah,
We
that's
just
why.
we just
that's
learned
why-
the Fiji, the water
Fiji
bottle.
Island.
Oh, Fiji, yeah.
The Fiji bottle. The old picture of that Fiji bottle is this one small falls, and the guy sued Fiji because apparently the picture that they taken, he owns the area. It's not even in Fiji.
Oh, no.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, so they sued him.
So and that's why they changed they took off the waterfall.
Yeah.
And then now just put random other
Right.
tropical pictures.
They should have removed the spelling. It should not be Fiji. It should be Fuji. Something like that.
No, isn't that the mountain in? I thought. Yeah, that was the mountain in Japan, right?
Yeah, Mount Fuji.
Fuji.
Yeah, Mount Fuji.
That's good.
Oh wow. Yeah.
Kuya, what's your favorite lens? As a photographer, what's your favorite lens?
A favorite lens.
Mm-hmm.
There's
Favorite
a
lens.
thing. I thought lens.
Most of the time
Mhm.
I'm using is my 12 millimeter.
Really?
Yeah, it's Samyang,
Oh.
but
That's for landscape, though, right?
it's for landscape because I love it because most of the photos I'm taking I'm posting is was taken through that lens, and actually it's the cheapest one I could get. The lens that I wanted for landscape is I have not got it. I've not got it yet, so I need to save more money to
What is
buy
your
it. But
what's that lens?
it's the 1024 millimeter.
Yeah. So the lower the millimeter, the wider the lens
okay.
is. Yeah. Yeah.
That's crazy. I mean,
Mhm.
well, all the equipments that you use for photography, were they owned or did loaned, borrowed? You.
Most of them I saved up for it.
Mhm.
Nice.
Buy 'em. Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, you must have saved up a
Because
lot.
I'm in the wedding industry. I mean in the events industry.
Mhm.
So
Yeah. Yeah.
sometimes the money I earn from it. Sometimes it all goes through there to buying equipment. You have this money and then
Yeah. Yeah, because
you
there are
just buy an equipment.
they're expensive.
I know,
Holy
they're-
smokes. They're a
So when
lot.
you say event, do you mean like also
Like weddings,
Mhm.
weddings, event, corporate
How about concerts? Do you do
events.
concerts too?
concerts. Yeah,
Oh
Oh,
wow.
But-
wow.
most of the time are weddings. Weddings are
Mhm.
a thing here in the Philippines. So
Wow. Wow.
um,
So for landscape pictures, I just realized this since I start learning the trifecta, the aperture, ISO, and shutter speed. Do you have to capture the right moment for your aperture? Because I assume you have to be in a higher aperture, right? Because you want to
Yeah.
focus the whole thing. You can't go like 2.8 in the landscape. So do you have to take the picture in a certain moment of like the brightness of the sun or the sunrise or something like that?
yeah, most of the time is
Yeah.
when there's a balance between the light in the sky and the illumination of the foreground. I mean the ground.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the best time to, for me, the best time to take the photos.
Yeah.
A bit of balance,
Yeah.
because if the sky is a bit brighter than
Mm-hmm.
it's brighter,
Mm-hmm.
so most of the time the dynamic range is so high,
Yeah.
the contrast is so high, you have to take two exposures, and sometimes I'm a bit lazy doing stacking. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
I like the balance between the illumination of the sky and also
Yeah.
the ground.
Yeah, because in portraits it's easy to fix that. You just put a flash, in front of your subject, and that solves all the bright issues and things like that. But you can't put a lighting on a mountain. Like, how big is your lighting to shine on a mountain?
But when you're taking a photo of the Milky Way, you have to have a really good low exposure, low aperture, like
Oh, really?
1.8 is advisable.
No
Yeah,
way.
1.8. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
man.
So that you could expose it, because your focus is in infinity, so that's why it's in focus.
Also, you're gonna
But
go.
the thing is, if you have a foreground,
Mhm.
have a foreground, and you want it to be in focus also, you have to take two exposures.
Mhm.
One exposure for the Milky Way, and then another exposure for the foreground.
And then you stack it.
And then you blend it. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Mm.
Because that's what they do with realty, like for houses. That's how they do. They stack
okay.
it because a lot of pictures are too bright. You know, when you're taking pictures of a house, and the timing it's really really bright. You have to take multiple pictures and stack it.
Yeah, actually, it's the windows sometimes. The
Mhm.
windows.
Yep.
The windows are too bright, and you want to have a good exposure of the what's going on outside.
Mm-hmm.
But if you expose it, the the interior becomes dark.
Yeah, I know.
Right.
But
Yep.
if you want to
Okay.
expose the interior naman, if you're going to expose the interior,
Yeah.
the
Oh,
window
wow.
is too bright.
Yeah.
So you have to
Yeah.
have two exposure and then
You stack it.
blend
Yeah, I learned that.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that makes so much sense. But in videos, you can't do that. You can't
you
do
can't.
stacking. No, you can't. You can't stack two videos.
Do or die.
Because
Do or die.
you can't
Actually,
do
you
the same.
can, but it's a bit hard.
Yeah, because you have to do the same action. You know, same
Yeah,
movement,
same.
same exact. Like one of the videos is going somewhere. Like what? What? There's a
Wait,
ghost on this video. Going different ways.
Oh man,
it's
I didn't
hard.
think.
But when it
It's
comes
hard
to
to do.
portrait, what's your favorite lens?
It's my if it's my 56 millimeter,
Oh.
but convert it to a 35 millimeter sensor. It's about 85 millimeter.
Okay. Okay.
Because I'm using a crop sensor. Okay, it's a technical term again. Anyway, you could look it this up in
you can Google it. Just
Yeah,
Google
you
it.
can Google it.
Yeah.
crop sensor versus full frame. So okay.
Oh, really?
So I'm using a 35 crop sensor. That's why if you're going to convert it into 35 millimeter sensor or a full frame, it's 85 millimeter. Or
Interesting.
80 to 85 millimeter.
Wow.
For portraits, yeah.
Wow.
That's
And
awesome.
you mainly use fixed lenses?
Yeah, for portrait.
Really?
Yeah.
And even for weddings?
For weddings, usually I use my kit lens and also my 50 to 200
Oh, okay.
millimeter.
Gotcha. Yeah, gotcha. Yeah, you have to. Like the 200 millimeter. Whew, those things are beautiful. I want one of those, but they're expensive. Because the 200, like
But
literally.
now,
Mm-hmm.
since every what do you call this photography brand is shifting to mirrorless,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
the ones that they use for DSLRs
Mhm.
lenses are getting
Yeah.
cheaper.
Yeah. But you need
So-
to get the convertible or the adapter. I
Yeah,
forgot what
it's
called.
okay. It's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay.
But
Yeah.
that itself
as
is
long
cheap.
as
Yeah.
long as it's a bit crappy with the autofocus, but usually with video kasi you don't it's better for you to practice on the manual focus
Oh, really?
rather than on the
Oh, because I'm autofocus. That's what I've been running. I'm just running autofocus. Yeah.
The thing with autofocus kasi when you're when you're so dependent with autofocus, sometimes there are instances that the autofocus does not work on a different lighting conditions.
Yeah.
So sometimes you're trying to focus it, it doesn't focus. But if you're in manual focusing, it's so easy.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
adjust the rings. And
I use the what do you call that? What is that term? The red thing, or
yeah.
Yeah.
The-
whatever that is.
I forgot.
Yeah. as long as it's
Focus,
basically it's basically whatever you're focusing. It gives you a red outline or
turns.
whatever
Oh.
color you
Yeah.
prefer. Yeah. Yeah, that's for the manual focus.
Yeah, I've seen that on the video when we
Focus
did.
peaking.
Yeah.
That's
Yes,
the
that's
term.
right.
Focus
Yeah, the peaking. Yeah.
Focus.
Yeah, peaking. That sounds sexual.
It does.
Peaking. Speaking of sexual, have you ever thought about doing boudoir? Boudoir? Is it boudoir?
I did
Really?
before. Yeah,
Oh,
I
wow.
did before.
What is
And the thing
boudoir?
is,
Explain to Waka
Um,
what's boudoir.
okay, it's a bit sensual photography. Wherein it's a bit sexy.
Yeah.
You know?
Mm.
And it turns the male species turns on, you know. times then on.
I could only
But
imagine.
it's an actually before before it was an art form, but now it's a very thin line between pornography and and an art form. So I shunned away from it because sometimes
They
there
crossed
are
the
people
line.
who are taking advantages of it. There were cases here in
no
my
way.
place, yeah, that they took advantage of the model. So
Because
it's a bit scary to be in.
In
Yeah,
that
most-
industry.
Unless probably what if I'm going to do it, if I'm
Mhm.
going to intentionally do it again. Probably I'll ask my wife to ask the model to do a photography with me,
oh, gotcha.
and probably she'll be there also.
Yeah, yeah. Because
Makes
boudoir is a art form. It is an art form. It's not a pornography. It's like there's no difference between that and you painting someone naked. You know what I mean? Or a naked body. And most of boudoir that I notice, and I talk to a lot of my friends who does photography and that does a lot of this kind of art form. It's usually just lingerie. Nothing lesser than that.
Yeah, lingerie or sometimes a topless.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Sometimes it's implied nudity.
Yes, that's right.
But they have coverings, but it's like there's a sense of that they're naked.
Yeah, yeah.
They have some coverings.
Mm-hmm.
you know.
It's so
And
it's
then
the
you would-
it's the art of naked body. You know, it's just that art form. It's nothing in the
But
sense of
it's a bit
sensual.
it's a bit scary, because
Yeah.
some people don't understand it. Some people would just because you cannot control the way people see it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Naked body
I
is a
agree.
wow.
I
you know?
totally
Yeah,
agree.
I will be. I can't do it. I can't
know.
do it.
No, me neither.
Nope.
Nope.
No.
It's dangerous. It's
Nope.
a dangerous thing.
It's dangerous for me, for sure.
dangerous.
I'll be
That's why
seeing.
if you're going to do it, better if you have a wife,
Mm-hmm.
do it with your
Yeah.
or probably your wife.
Yeah. No, I'm not gonna. She probably will kill me. What did you say? What are we gonna do? No.
It's a bit hard. It's a bit
Yeah.
hard. It's a bit,
Yeah.
But we did it before. It's like a workshop. It's I was with other photographers when we did it, and there's this model, and actually during that time was I got turned off. I thought I was going to get turned on. You know why?
Why?
Because I found out that the girl, the model, had things fixed up around her body. So her face, her boobies, and
gotcha.
everything, her hips. So
Got
it's
it.
not natural anymore. So
Yeah.
to make it
It's all
perfect,
work.
because that's her way of living, to be a model.
Yeah. Yeah.
For it's like just for a session. I think it's about for a day. For a day, there were about 4 of us. I think 5 of us taking pictures of her. I think that's about $400 something.
Oh wow.
Wow.
The whole session is
Just for a day.
$400.
Yeah. So imagine if that girl is having photo sessions every day.
Yeah.
How much would
Yeah.
She's
she be
banking.
earning?
Yeah. I know.
Yeah.
Does she sell? I wonder if she sells it. You know what I mean? I don't know. She got OnlyFans.
OnlyFans.
because that's why they fix their face.
Oh yeah. No, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes
Yeah,
so
and
much
then
sense.
they
It's like
that's why, because that's their business already.
that's a borderline body dysphoria, right?
Uh,
It is a body dysphoria. It's gotta be, because if it's like, I don't know, I don't even know, because I feel like even a lot of bodybuilders who like shapes their body in a weird form way, like a lot of bodybuilders, when you look at them, it's like that's not normal. That body's not normal. There's no way that's normal. You know what I mean? It's like there's no difference between that.
So what
and
are you saying? Your body's normal?
No, that's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. It's like some bodies, when you look at them, it's like their muscles are disproportioned. Like you gotta be doing something with your body, bro. I don't know what you're doing, but I'm not doing what you're doing. You know, I want to look fit, but
No.
not that fit.
bodybuilders, I mean, once I learned about what they couldn't do, I'm like, as long as I don't want to go to the point where I can't wipe myself.
Yeah, or hug yourself.
Or hug yourself, or hug your wife. I'm like, ugh.
I know. Your biceps is on the way.
No.
Don't get me wrong. I'm not
I
shaming
don't
all the
want
bodybuilders.
probably with that. Yeah. Well. I mean, kudos to those people who do
Yeah,
that. You
right.
know, they
Right.
they really build their body. But for me, I don't want to be at the point when I'm doing that and I can see, you know,
Your penis. You can't see your penis.
because my chest is on the way.
Hold up. When you have to clean under your boob, that man, dude, you're doing too much.
Yeah, for real.
The same
Oh,
goes
man.
thing with, you know, when you get really get large.
Yeah, yeah. Your gut is
Same
on the
thing,
way.
same thing.
Right.
It's not the chest, it's the belly that
Yeah.
you know,
Your
Oh.
gut is on
blocks
the way.
your sight.
Don't. Did you just say I know that, man?
I know. I
Oh
just
my
as I
gosh.
know. I
Oh my
understand.
gosh, fuck.
But excuse me, guys. No, we're not body shaming.
No, not at all.
No.
But not at
It's
all.
just the way that
Yeah.
you know we don't
Yeah.
don't want to be
Yep.
our bodies to be on that position.
That's right. That's right. All right. Well, before we end this podcast, I usually do this, but I'm gonna ask you because you are our guest and you are very knowledgeable. You have a lot of wisdom. Give us. I can give you time. You probably don't need. I don't even know, but I'm gonna ask it. Give us. I do this in every podcast. I do hot takes in real life. We're gonna do hot takes in real life. Any hot takes
IRL.
in real life? Ooh, yeah. Hot takes in real life. Say it again.
Hot takes IRL.
There you go. Hot takes in real life, Kuya Randy. Any hot takes, unpopular opinion about anything in life. Let me give you an example. I posted this on Facebook not too long ago. Using spoon is better when it comes to spread. Spoon is better than knife.
Agreed.
Okay.
100%. Or washing your butt is better than wiping your butt. That's like the hot take in real life. Because here in America, they use wipe. I don't want to get started on that again. But tell us your hot take, whatever it is. It can be in photography, videography, or movies,
Anything.
or anything in life.
Anything.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
You gave me an idea.
I know. Yeah, go
Yeah,
ahead.
water is better. Water
Yeah.
is better than paper.
In what?
Huh?
Water's better than paper in what?
Yeah, in the bathroom.
Oh, when you I'm talking about when you poop. Yeah, that's that. No, I gave that. That's one of
you
my.
gave that already?
That's
that-
one of my hot
exactly.
takes.
Yeah, that was his
that's
hot take.
one of my-
Ah,
one of my-
Which I agree to.
yeah, it's a lot cheaper. It's more efficient. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
cleaner.
Yeah, it's
Right.
it's more sanitary.
Yeah,
Actually.
100%. And they're always like, "Ew, you're touching your own poop." Yeah, but you wash it afterwards.
Right.
Don't tell me you don't wash your hands after you wipe your butt.
Nah, that's a whole different story.
Exactly. But anyway, give us a hot take. Any hot take?
Oh man,
Anything.
that's a pretty tough one.
Yeah.
Personal could be simple. Like the other day, we just met somebody who said that he preferred to sleep with his socks on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But we don't want to keep giving you ideas because we don't
Yeah.
want to steal that ideas
Yeah,
from
that's
you.
right.
Just give us anything. Any hot take.
Oh man, that's tough.
Maybe in pictures or cameras
Pictures.
or lenses.
Okay.
Yeah.
Pictures. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. In pictures, high ISO is better than no picture at all.
High AS. Ooh, that's a hot take. Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Because you know why?
Why?
If you have, because people who bump up their ISOs worry about grainy
Yeah.
photos.
Yeah.
No, it's better to have grainy photos than having nothing at all.
Gotcha.
You know?
Interesting.
Gotcha.
I don't know the term,
Because
but
yeah.
sometimes they bumped up the high ISO because sometimes people they want to limit their ISOs to a point, the lowest ISO settings, because they don't want any grain in their photos.
Yeah.
This is what I learned when I was doing. I did that before, but the thing is, you have to compensate the exposure with your aperture
Yeah.
and your shutter speed.
Yeah.
I cannot compensate too much on my aperture because I limit it. I limit it on probably 1.8.
Yeah.
So I have to compensate it with my shutter speed. So my shutter speed would slow down,
Yeah.
and then if there's a movement in my subject, it becomes blurry already.
You're right. Right.
So I'd rather to have a clear, photo
With grains.
with grains rather than with blurry photos.
Gotcha.
Oh.
Not having the shot at all.
Yeah, that is a hot take. Yeah, because photographers, I noticed, photographers and videographers, they hate the grain. They hate all the grains going on in their subject or in their content.
But
No,
that's edible, right?
edible.
Editable.
No,
editable.
grains are not.
No.
You can't edit unless you go black and white, right? Then you can
Yeah,
fix the
black
grain.
and white. Yeah.
Yeah, you can. Then you can
But,
fix the grains.
Yeah, but better to have that shot, a clear shot than to have blurry shots.
Mm-hmm.
Makes sense.
So
Wow.
better have a high ISO than
Yeah.
nothing.
Unless that's what you are trying to take. Like I've
Yeah.
seen a ton of pictures of the waterfalls, and they want that blur of the waterfalls.
Intention. Yeah.
Intention, yeah.
It depends on your intention.
Mm-hmm.
There's
Okay.
the thing that they call artful blur.
Mm-hmm.
If you look the paintings of what, man, I hate myself for getting those painters. Sometimes there are things that I want to remember.
Are you talking about
There are paintings that they look blurry,
Uh-huh.
but they are tastefully blurry.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
And there
Yeah.
are also photographs that I like
Yeah.
that.
Or-
And then sometimes they cost many $1,000 a blurry picture. I don't
Right.
know. I don't understand.
Or
Sometimes
those-
I get
you know those pictures that at night this is so it was so popular back in the day. It's so funny. There was one point in time when people were taking a ton of pictures of it, like at night, and they have a light and then they will try to draw something.
Oh.
Yeah.
They will
Yeah,
have
yeah.
a really
I remember.
light painting. They call it light painting.
slow shutter speeds, and that's what they do.
Yeah.
You take pictures. So once you take the picture, you do movement with your hand in the light at night, and you'll make that form.
I think Harold did that before.
Did he?
Yeah, on a trip. I forgot. He told me to do something, and he had like a fancy camera,
Mm-hmm.
and he did something like that, and told me, "Do something, Walker. Write something."
Write something. Draw a penis. That's what they usually draw, right? Like high schoolers.
Yeah.
You remember those?
Whoa.
Every time in the bathroom, it's for some reason in every bathroom in every high school. There's always
so
a drawing,
stupid.
1 or 1,000 pictures of drawing of penises.
All
Like,
over.
that's disgusting. I don't even know what's your fascination with that. But yeah, favorite camera, go.
Oh, favorite camera.
Mhm.
The one that I have right now.
Fuji, really?
Yeah, that's my favorite camera
Ah.
because I cannot say that my camera is Hasselblad. I don't have it and I haven't used it,
Gotcha.
or Leica or something like that.
Right,
Those
right.
are the things that I wanted to experience for
yeah.
myself. But for having, because if you don't love the camera that you have right now,
yeah,
if you don't like it, you don't use it.
yeah.
You don't improve.
That's right.
Fair.
That's right.
If you're liking the things that you don't have,
Mm-hmm.
no, you will you fantasize about it, then the things that you have, you don't use it. Same thing with life. Sometimes you fantasize about things that you don't have, and you take for granted the things that you have,
Yeah, yeah.
and it turns out you don't get the best things in life because you don't it's a biblical principles, the things the things that are entrusted I know it more in Tagalog. Could you translate
for
it
it.
for me?
Go ahead.
DJ,
This is a Tagalog.
napapagkatiwalaan sa malit na bagay, napapagkatiwalaan sa malaking bagay.
Yes, that what he said.
Amazing.
No, okay, I will translate. Okay, I will translate it, man.
Don't worry. No,
Here
don't
goes.
worry at all. Don't worry.
Here goes. If you are entrusted with little things, you could be entrusted with big things.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
That's right. Yeah.
That's very biblical.
So
I agree.
You know, you treasure the things that you have right now,
Mm-hmm.
and probably if you are entrusted with it, you know, in God's time, God would give you the things that
Yeah.
you yearn for.
Right.
Amen
Right.
to that.
Yeah. But even if, let's say, you have the money to buy it, you still stick with Fuji?
Yeah, I'll go for the medium. What do you call that? The it's bigger than the full frame. It's the
Oh.
medium format
Nice.
Fuji
Nice.
cameras.
And is this just photography? How about videography? How about videos?
For video,
Uh-huh.
probably I will go for Sony.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
he's all Sony.
Yes.
Yeah. The
Love Sony.
FX3 or the cinema cameras. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Mine is I like Sony. I don't have it, but I wish I do. The A7S3. Yeah, the S3. Ah, it's so nice. But if I go for
FX3.
really, FX3 is nicer. Ah.
I mean, if you're going, but if you're going for hybrid, like hybrid, I mean, if you're doing photography and videography, go for A7S.
Mm.
Yeah, but or
but-
A7 III or A7.
But you said FX3.
Yeah, it's solely because I know I don't have it anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But what I think is if your camera,
Mm-hmm.
if you want to take good video cameras, then go for video cameras,
Oh,
not
I see.
video and photo cameras.
I see. So the 7S3s are hybrids. They're both cameras and videos. But the FX3 is solely
video.
videos.
Yeah, solely for
Gotcha.
video.
Gotcha.
Well, that makes sense.
Because my mid range is 6600. The Alpha 6600. That's my. Because those are way cheaper than the 7S3, you know. Because the 6600 is what, like 1300, and then the 7S3 is $4,000, I think.
Oh Jesus, my goodness!
And that's just the body. This doesn't include the lens.
But the thing is, what I really want to invest right now is for lenses.
Mm-hmm.
I have the best lenses I could have.
Mm-hmm.
Probably that's the first thing I would buy. Not
Oh.
much on the body,
Right.
Mm.
because you know, if you have really good cameras but you have crappy lenses,
It's pointless.
it does not justify the quality of
Yeah.
That makes sense.
sensors
Mhm.
with your lenses. Yeah,
That's right.
you have
That's
to
good.
have nice optics.
That's good. That's
Agreed.
good. Yeah.
That makes sense.
Dude, this has been an awesome podcast.
Yes.
I was telling Waka this. This is a great podcast. You're a great guest, Kuya.
Yeah, love it.
One thing. It's
Yeah.
like having a good mixer, but you have a bad microphone. Doesn't
Oh.
go well, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But if
I
you
agree.
have good microphone, even
Mhm.
if you have a crappy mixer, it makes the sound better. It's
Yeah.
the same thing with cameras, something like that.
I agree.
Mm.
I agree. But if you have a good camera and a good lens, but awful photographer, it
Yeah.
doesn't matter.
Fired.
It doesn't matter.
Fired.
Yeah, we have a photographer in our in our church. This photographer has an expensive camera.
Handpans are good.
A very expensive camera, a very expensive lens. Pictures crappy. Angles, the lighting
Yeah.
is crappy. Like the whole thing is just
I agree
crappy.
on that.
Yeah, and I think
Speaking of equipment, there's a delivery coming in. Yeah, I improved because I have a wireless. The thing is, I bought a wireless called lapel for the cameras.
yeah.
I was using the big ones
Yeah.
actually before.
Yeah.
Now I bought the small ones,
What'd you get?
which is easier to set up.
What did you get?
It's like a Rode,
The wireless Go?
wireless Go.
The square ones? Oh yeah, that's what we
Yeah.
have. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what he got.
I use it for interviews. So when we do videos,
Yeah, it's so easy. Actually.
Oh, yeah, a
it's so
lot
easy
easier.
to use. It's to set up
yeah.
rather than using the large ones. I
Yeah.
have the large
Oh
ones.
yeah,
Actually.
because that one you just clip it. You know, you just make sure you
Yeah,
clip it.
and you don't have to worry about batteries.
Yeah. Nope.
The wireless Go 2 is very nice because
Oh,
it
yeah.
has the receiver. The transmitter has its own recorder,
Yep.
Yeah.
And you have two microphones.
and you
good.
have you have two transmitters and one receiver.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's really nice. That's
I know.
really cool.
I know. And although that one records stereo, so when you go editing, you have to combine them. because that's what we're using in our weddings. Yeah, but it's really nice. It's really nice.
You guys, check out Skillshare or anything that's similar with Skillshare, because if you like music, you like to learn more about your keyboard. They have beginner to advanced lessons there.
Oh, wow.
So Skillshare is variety.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And it's not like you're just subscribing to one lesson. You're subscribing to a ton of lessons.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Well,
and skill.
that's good to know.
Skill
That's
sets.
really good to know.
Yeah, it's nice.
And it's like
nice.
what, $100 for a year?
Yeah, I think so. They have plans. I'm not sure if it's $100 because I got something cheaper. I'll share it to you later.
Yeah, okay.
This.
Yeah, we'll post it in the description down below, and the link we'll share you the link. We don't have a sponsor yet, so I'm not gonna tell you to type in something. No, we don't have that. But no, this has been a very nice a podcast. I want to do something with you, Kuya, when you get a chance, maybe someday, because we want to do some reaction videos.
Let's do that.
Yeah.
Like that.
We'll have you in the pod.
He's excited.
We have you in the video, some pictures and videos and what you think about and how can it be improved and
that's a good one.
Yeah, I have anyway, yeah, we want to say thank you. So Kuya Randy, where can people find you in the social media world if you want to be found?
It's an option. You don't
Probably
have to.
look at me at Instagram. Look for Justify, JAZZTIFY, Jazz.
Dude,
that's right. You're
Jazz music and TIFY.
Dude, you've had that name for a very long time.
I forgot, Kuya, your name was Jazz as well. That's right.
Yeah, you've had that.
I don't know why. But to tell you honestly, I got that name from a movie. Got the movie already. It's like it's a comedy movie. It's really funny, and they have, because I was into music so much before, into rock music, and he was a rock star, and his name was Jazz. So got the name.
Makes sense.
And then people start calling me Jazz. Some of my friends before called me Jazz. Only the people here in Baguio City know me as Randy, but not Jazz. So sometimes people come here. Some of my visitors come here. And then, is this the house of Jazz? Jazz.
Who's
There's
Jazz?
no Jazz here.
Because the Jazz is not even in your name. There's no Jazz in your name.
No, I mean, they have no idea.
It's like Waka.
Yeah, it's like my name, Waka. It's a nickname.
But you can never find Waka in your full name. At least for me, it's AJ, and it's
Aaron Jose.
Yeah. Thanks for saying my whole name. I appreciate that, Leroy James.
It could be Angelina Jolie, maybe.
But yeah.
Whatever.
So you have Instagram. What else you got?
Facebook. I don't like subscribe. I have a page, Randy Benigno Pics.
Yeah.
You could visit. You could see my. Actually, most of my stuff, most of my landscapes is found in my Facebook.
Okay.
Yeah, you could look me up, Randy Benigno. The only guy here in the Philippines with the name Randy Benigno, residing in Baguio City. But I have other similar. There are people with me similar names. I found a Randy Benigno in California.
Oh, wow.
I was surprised. He's an old guy.
Yeah,
he's an old guy, and sometimes I said, but people might be looking for me, and then they Randy Benigno's so old, man. He has grandkids.
And he takes landscape pictures.
It's not. His pictures are so crappy. I don't think this is the Randy Benigno we're looking for. So if ever you're looking for me on the on Facebook, look for the guy who's in Baguio City here in the Philippines.
That's awesome. That is awesome.
Yeah.
But
and look at my face. This is my face.
Yes. Don't be fooled. This guy is not 25 years old.
No, I'm not. I'm proud to be 45 years old.
Yeah,
I just turned 45 last.
Oh my gosh.
I didn't realize. I thought I was only 43. Then I was not counting. I stopped counting probably when I was 35 years old.
Here, I thought he was 35.
Oh man.
I was like, in my head, it's like, there's no way he's 35, because when we met him, you were about
When I first met him, he was 30.
I was 30
Yeah.
years old. during
yeah,
that time.
and that was what
Yeah,
we were
my
in
first,
Bethel.
my first year in Bethel Bible College, I was 30.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep, 30.
And
That's right.
yeah, and my girlfriend was 17 years old.
Yes. Oh, we shouldn't be announcing that.
Yeah.
They're married
Yeah,
now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
later, years later, they got
Yeah,
married.
They're married now.
Sorry for that, guys, but I'm not encouraging you to do that. But
But look at him. Yeah, Don't
How
be
are you
fooled.
two,
Yeah.
by the way?
I deceived her. How what?
How are you guys doing? You two.
We're good.
That's
We still
good.
don't have kids. We're still working on it, but
Yes. You know what that means when they said they're working on it. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
That's awesome, man.
That's what it means.
Good to hear.
Yeah, kids, if you're watching this, when
kids,
mommy
if you're
and-
watching, you know how to work.
Yes.
You guys know this. You go to the internet and you know.
Oh my gosh. When
I
mommy
doubt that you don't know about it.
when mommy and daddy love each other so much.
And there's no birds delivering babies. No, your parents make babies.
Yes, that's
Yeah,
right.
it's the truth.
That's
Yeah,
right. That's
the
right.
truth will set you free. But don't make babies.
Don't make
when
babies.
you're not married yet.
Don't make babies. That's right.
Get married.
Do not make babies. Well, I want to say thank you again, Kuya Randy,
Yes.
for joining us and doing this. This has been a pleasure, and it's
Yep,
awesome.
Likewise.
Yeah, we'll invite you again. We'll do another pod.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. It will be a pleasure.
Yes.
Yeah. Please do schedule it.
Yes.
And then early
Okay. Yeah, we'll
Yeah,
do that.
we'll do.
We'll do.
time.
So we'll see you guys later. If you haven't been subscribing this YouTube, I don't even know what you're doing. If you're enjoying this podcast, please subscribe and let us know if you're enjoying this, and come follow us in all of our social media accounts, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter. Just look for The Maximum Filipino Show. If you're watching this on YouTube and you want to do something else while listening to this, you can go to any of your podcast platform. Just look for The Maximum Filipino Show. If you're listening to this in podcast form, go to YouTube and watch it in The Maximum Filipino Show. We have a lot of contents there that you can learn. This is not Skillshare, but you learn a lot of things.
Yeah.
I think.
Right.
Dude, last podcast we talked about period cups. That was the most
That was
amazing, one of the most amazing podcasts ever.
What?
Yeah, we talked about period cups. Yes, we did.
It was.
We did. It was Lester's girlfriend.
Yep.
We talked to Lester's
That's right.
girlfriend because she advocates period cups. Yep, we did, and it was awesome.
That.
Dude, I'm gonna say the same thing that you told me before. Look it
Yeah.
up.
Oh my.
look it up. Look it up.
I'll do. I'll see.
I guarantee
Well,
you've
yeah.
been holding to say that at one point. You've been waiting.
That's the way to. That's the.
Those things are interesting,
Yes.
Some things that you don't,
Yes.
You don't,
Just make sure when you look it up, put the safe search on, because you might be looking at it,
Very
different
wrong.
kinds of period cups.
I don't care. I don't care.
Oh my god. And that's how you end the podcast. We'll see you guys later.
I'll see you.
Bye.
Correct.